Superstition and omen. Its relation to Islam and how it nullifies a person's Tawhid. The superstition and omen in Arabic is called ṭiyarah. It's gotten from a system the Arabs concocted as it relates to birds, ṭiyarah. So what they do is in the morning they go out and they watch out for birds. If they see birds going right, then they say today business is going to be good. Today my travel is going to be good. And if birds go left, they say no, the business is going to be bad. Travel is going to be bad. That decision that I want to make is going to be bad. So they retreat. So this also applies in our modern world today. So ṭiyarah means bad omen or something evil, whether names, events, something you hear. And based on that perception that you see or hear, you change your action based on that perception. Now, this kills tawakkul. That is why it is prohibited, because it kills your dependency on Allah and dependency on perceived things that have no true ability or power to harm you or benefit you in one way or the other. So the Prophet ﷺ mentioned La ṭiyarata wa la hamata wa la safar, that superstition in whatever form or concocting or connoting bad meanings to months or days or events, or seeing any form of bird, whether an owl or whatever, and then retreating because of that. You decided you wanted to do something, but because of that you retreated. It is haram. This is quite different when it comes to al-fa'alu, which is the opposite of ṭiyarah. This means connoting good meanings to things you see or hear. Connoting good meanings to some things you see or hear. The Prophet said, وَيُعْجِبُنِي الْفَأَلُ, I love doing fa'alu, which is to say you hear something, then you connote something good to it. Many examples to this. Number one is the Prophet ﷺ was going to war, and then Buraidah came. A person named Buraidah came. And Buraidah in English means, Buraidah translates to coolness. He said our war is going to be cool because of Buraidah. Same happened when they were trying to reach a reconciliation between the Muslims and the Kuffar in Sulh Hudaybiyah. There was no agreement. So a disbeliever whose name was Suhail, he was a disbeliever, but his name was Suhail. Suhail means ease. When the Prophet saw him, he said, our matter is going to come with ease. So connoting good meanings is good. Why? Because it's already, he confirms and protests something innately good in our nature, which is optimism. It's boost up optimism, and Islam is all about boosting up optimism as much as you can. Allah says, as I am as you think of me. Whatever opinion you have of me, that's how I'm going to be. So now you might see some hadiths where the Prophet ﷺ avoided, because ṭiyarah simply means omen. Omen or superstition simply mean avoiding to do something because of something you perceive, or going ahead to do something because of that perceived something, especially when it connotes to something evil, like I gave in the terms of how the word was even concocted in the beginning at ṭiyarah. So someone might tell you he saw a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ wanted someone to milk a cow. So two people rose up. One was named Murrah and the other was Har. The Prophet ﷺ did not give them that act. Their name translates to bitterness and war. So he avoided giving them that name. This is quite different because, why? Because in Islam, having names that hold bad meanings is something that's haram. So that's why he refused to give them. And that is why you find a number of places where the Prophet changed his companion's name just to buttress this point of al-fa'alu, something good to it. One example is, his name was Hazan. So the Prophet said, change your name to Sahel. He said, لَنْ أُغَيِّرَ إِسْمًا سَمَّانِهِ أَبِي. I am not going to change the name that my father gave me. So years later, his grandson came and was saying that that name, the effect of his name still stayed in his lineage, because Hazan means sadness and roughness. So that roughness kept being in their lineage because he refused to change their name. The Prophet changed the name of Asiya which means Sina, to Zainab. He changed many names. So names are very important, and that's why the poet said, وَقَلَّ أَنْ أَبْصَرْتَ عَيْنَيْكَ ذَا لَقَبٍ إِلَّا وَإِنْ فَكَّرْتَ مَعَنَاهُ فِي لَقَبٍ. Many a times when you see someone with a name, whatever it is, an object, an inanimate object, or even human beings, that you find that they translate the meaning of their name as they are. So that is one thing, and that is why words are very important. Things we say have effect. So this is to separate meanings of names to omens and superstition. But basically it is haram to refuse to do an act, maybe traveling or a business transaction or whatever, just because you hear something evil. Maybe, for example, you want to travel to a country or a state and they tell you that the last trip there was a plane crash just recently for those who went there, so you refuse to travel because of that. So it means that that event has affected your Tawhīd, your trust in Allah, your dependency in the Supreme Being. That is why in the hadith of Ibn Amru, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Man raddatu ṭiyarah an hajatihi faqad ashraka." Whoever lets superstition, omen, to affect the decision he wants to make, faqad ashraka, then he has committed shirk. Now all these are examples of minor shirk that we are talking about. So the companions asked the Prophet, فَمَا كَفَّارَةُ ذَلِكَ? What are we going to do to expiate that sin we incurred if we do that? Then he told them, the Prophet ﷺ, أَن تَقُولَ اللهم لا خير إلا خيرك ولا غير إلا غيرك ولا إله غيرك. Oh Allah, there is no goodness except your goodness. ولا غير إلا غيرك, and there is no superstition except what you live and excuse to happen. ولا إله غيرك, because the case is you are the only God. You do not take advice or consult anything or anyone for something to happen. So that is why we say it's shirk, because you kind of feel that an action, event, or a scene you see affect an outcome in terms of how it's going to happen. So avoid this and have a strong Tawhīd, a strong dependency on Allah. Less superstition or omen prevent you from something you want to do. Superstitions range are plenty in number. Some are related to traditions. I can give multiple examples, but basically anything that affects what you are going to do it's called ṭiyarah. But there's an excuse and an exception for al-fa'ilu, which is hearing something good or seeing something good and building a good meaning to it. This is quite good because it already buttresses good optimism, which is an attribute of a believer. Wassalamu